Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am your Ice Dragon, Rayron VR, and today we have another Icy Rail news. Now this one's going to be a little bit interesting. The product that we're about to talk about, I wasn't sure if this was going to be an Icy Rail news video or if it's going to be a Dragon's Rage video because quite frankly, it kind of disappointed me for this particular product, but considering the company that's coming from, um, they've got some really good up and coming products, but some other products are just downright disastrous in my opinion. And that company is going to be Bachmann. Bachmann just announced a couple days ago that they've got this brand new Easy Command Plus DCC command station. And let me give you guys a little bit of background for this Easy Command Station when it comes to my personal experience with this. So, back in the day when I was a very, very young dragon, I actually got one of these Easy Command DCC stations because all the other command stations was really expensive at the time, and Bachmann provided this very cheap entry level command station that I was able to run my DCC engines. And so um, I was able to plug this into my Easy Track system and run my two DCC locomotives from Bachmann. And I was having so much fun with them. I was running them in opposite directions, which, I grew up as a DC, so seeing two trains running the opposite directions on one track was such a great joy to me. But between 10 to 30 minutes of playtime, all my engines stopped, and then I started to smell that electrical smoke of a overheat. And, I just ran it for like 30 minutes or so, and the controller just died on me. And come to find out, yeah, I had fried the motherboard on there just by running two DCC engines, and my heart sank. And I, I told myself I would never, ever, ever get a Bachmann command station ever again because I was just so disappointed as a child. And I saw this the other day. It's like I need to make a video on this, and just to compare if it's actually a good product or not. Well, this is where the good kind of ends for me on it because it's not a great product. I'll leave a link in the description box below on this particular video so you guys can take a look at it for yourself. But basically, you have your command station here. They've done some upgrades, like they've added a speed step indicator with these bars here to show you how fast that you're going. And then you've got some other buttons up here. They do have some function buttons that you can start using and rotate through the numbers, so that way you can go from like function 1 all the way to like function 28 and so forth. The interesting thing about this controller, it's probably the only controller that I know of right now that you can actually use the same track and toggle between DC and DCC. So you press this 0 button here, and as long as you don't have, your DCC or DC locomotives on the track at the time of the switch, then you can just switch back and forth. And so that's probably the only neat feature about this controller. Everything else tends to go downhill. So let me talk about how this kind of works. So these buttons here, basically you're able to assign a DCC engine to one of these buttons. Now I've asked in the comments of this video to see, hey, does that mean that if you program it to push button 3, 4, and so forth, will that correlate the number to the particular engine? And their reply, you guys can take it for what it is. Bachmann replied saying that programming locomotive to one of the push button addresses on the controller will change the address the locomotive is assigned to on any controller. Now, any controller is kind of vague. They didn't go into any specifics, so it makes it seem like it will program that number. However, with not being able to have that physical product to test, I cannot confirm if it's going to work on a DCC Digitrax or a Android or just whatever type of other controller, DCC system controller out there, to verify that that actually works. So something to keep in mind when you're running these. And keep in mind too, you can only go up to 9 engines, I believe. Again, I'll have to double check on that. But the fact that if that's true, that you'll be programming these engines to 1 through 9, that's something that you have to take into consideration. You won't be able to program the DCC chip to the actual locomotive address. So again, this is one of those negatives when it comes to the system is that I'm pretty sure you cannot program the main locomotive. You're kind of stuck with the Bachmann way of doing it, which is these push buttons here. Now, I understand that this is supposed to be an entry-level product for getting into DCC, and if you're running just 100% Bachmann products, then yeah, then you may want to look into getting something like this. But this is where things kind of go downhill for this product. So let me ask you guys this. When you go out to a club, if you go out to a modular layout or just one of these big layouts, what system are they running? And I bet you it's not going to be this Bachmann system. I bet you it's going to be, Easy DCC, Digitrax, NCE, because those are the ones that give you the more bang for your buck. They allow you to do so many extra features that, you have so much capability when it comes to DCC. I think this command station is not giving you the full potential that you would eventually want later down the road. And once you start understanding how DCC works, you want to get access to those features. And so that's where things kind of go downhill. And what almost tipped me over into the Dragon Rage video is that the price for this controller. So this is where things get kind of downhill really quick. So if we go to the Bachmann's main website over here, they are advertising at a base for this Easy Command Plus system for $265. That is insane for the amount of limited capabilities that you have for this controller compared to some of the other controllers that are out there. Now, I did a little bit of research and see if I can get this a little bit cheaper in other stores to see if I can give this a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, because realistically, this is the MSRP price. And from my research, I was able to find it a little bit cheaper for $185. That's still kind of expensive because I'm about to show you what other things you can look at that gives you a lot more functionality when it comes to DCC. And so I'm going to start off with the cheapest option. It's the most complex of them all, but it shows you how cheap the command station systems have come down in price. And so the first one I want to show you guys is the DCC EX. Now this is more for the advanced modeler, for the advanced tinkerer, for the advanced kind of coder that wants to get into the coding of a command station. And so you can buy the parts for DCC EX as you go through here. Again, I'm not an expert when it comes to DCC EX, just from my quick research for the parts that you need. You've got the motor shield here, that's $40. We go to Amazon for the actual board itself. You've got $20, and then you've got the Wi-Fi shield for an additional $88. So right then and there, you have a command station, a potential source of connectivity to the track to get the power to, and to the Wi-Fi that you can control via an Android app. That's $50 for a command station. Again, if you're into that type of things, this is the cheapest route that you can go, which is pretty awesome compared to the $185 that you get here. And then my biggest advocate, you guys know that I am completely biased towards Digitrax, and for a little bit more, for about $10 more, at least on Train World, you can get the Digitrax DCS52 for about $200. And what's great about this system, you guys have seen this in my live streams that I do on every Friday. This thing is like an all-in-one. It's a throttle. It can program. This thing has a PR4, which means that you can connect to a computer. It has an integrated USB computer capability system, which means that you can connect this to JMRI. There's so much that you can do with this controller. And then just for S&Gs, I went on to Iron Planet Hobbies, and you can get it for $184 cheaper than the 185 Bachmann that's really limited. It blows my mind how expensive this thing is for the capabilities. And that's not including the discounts that you get if you put Humanity Junction's discount code with the free shipping and so forth. It's mind-blowing, to say the least. And then just for more S&Gs, for a little bit more, it's a little bit more expensive, about $100 more, you can get your TCS layout throttle command station. And this has a very, very excellent throttle. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Never really messed with it in real life, but this is another great option. And then obviously you can go to Train World and get an NCE system for $195, which is an excellent system. And so that's the part that just drives me crazy when it comes to the price of this Bachmann for the limited features that you get with this. Like, if you want to do the most out of this hobby, stay away from this easy command station plus whatever. If you really want to get into the hobby, there's much more cheaper options that give you so much more bang for your buck. Again, me personally, I always get all of my Digitrack systems through Iron Planet Hobbies because it tends to be the cheapest, and then I typically get my locomotives from Train World. But this is just a far superior product. Yeah, it takes a little bit of a learning curve to go from DC to the Zypher Digitracks because it is a little bit complicated. But once you understand what's going on, especially when you have a club member that knows the Digitrack system or the NCE system, then you have someone else that can help you mentor and teach you going into those systems. And it's like, I haven't seen any layout go with this Bachmann command station or the Bachmann command plus or anything like that because it's one of those systems that they try to keep you within the umbrella of the Bachmann product line, and I just don't like how this is not really NMRA standard friendly. And that's why I would highly suggest going into Digitrax, going into NCE, going to TCS. Again, do your research. Figure out what you want your command station, what you want your DCC system to do, and then just look at those products. I highly recommend staying away from this new product that I announced. It's just a lot of bells and whistles, but at the end of it, you're going to get the very simplistic DCC kind of railway or layout if you really just want to keep it simple. But again, there's just so much better options out there for your money. So with that, guys, again, sorry, there was a whole bunch of rambling in this one, but the price kind of really made me upset with this system. But again, new product from Bachmann, Easy Command Plus, but honestly, it's a huge swing and a miss. So what do you guys think down below? What DCC system do you have? What does your club use? Feel free to have a conversation down below. Again, I'm 100% Digitrax. So yeah, let me know what you guys have at home. So with that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.